What's up, guys and girls? I hope you're all doing good. Today we're checking out the Venturi NOMAD 2, which is basically a portable compressor. It just hooks directly to your gun, has auto shut off, and it'll top off your PCP rifle in about 3 minutes. Sells for $799. It is one of the best options out there as far as quality. If you buy one through a link in the description at either Pyramid Air or Airgun Depot, I'll make 5%. That'd be super cool. This is fan cooled, so there's no water involved, which is cool. You can also run it off your car if you're out in the forest. It measures 11 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches. Weighs 19.6 pounds. Here's a tech tip. Silicone oil is not included with the Nomad 2 compressor. It uses pure silicone oil. So you're going to have to grab some of that. So we're going to unbox this, give you a good look at it. And at the very end, I'm going to go through the manual, and there's going to be some stuff in there that may surprise you. Stay tuned for that if you're seriously thinking about buying this. There's all kinds of good stuff going on with this bad boy. Very nice. So I should probably read that since I'm doing a review. It's like we got some filters. You got your power cord. You want to plug this directly into the wall, not into an extension cord. This is for if you're out in the woods and you want to run it off your car or truck battery. Make sure you got your car running at the time though. Little bottle, that's empty. This is a spare O-rings. You got a fuse right there. Some little springy dingy thingies, and there's pressure burst disc I see. Oh, they gave you a quick disconnect Foster fitting right there. That's cool. And some other fancy stuff. Keep it dry. All right, and here's your. It's like pretty standard. That's where your moisture filter goes. Although you'd want to run a big dog to get really good dry air, but this is better than nothing. And you're just gonna snap that onto the compressor. That's your fill hose, and then this is your standard quick disconnect 1/8 Foster fitting. So you put your fill probe in here, or some of the guns just have that, do it directly to your gun. This compressor is made just to fill up guns. It's not made to fill up giant SCBA tanks. So I'm guessing it's going to have an auto shut off. You just set it at 300 bar or whatever. It fills your gun up, shuts off. Then you bleed the pressure, and your gun's ready to go. That way you get a full 300 bar fill every single time. Wow, look at this. So it's got embroidery right here. Oh, that is nice. That is actually super nice, you guys. There we go. So we got the handle right here, like that. Nice embroidered Air Venturi, the power of air. And we got a nice zippered pouch right here with, looks like 2 different pockets. Yeah, check that out. This is where you can keep your pellets and things. And then this big one, this right here would hold a lot of pellets. Whoa, and it has, a handle in there? Okay, cool. So you can put like, probably 8 tins of pellets in there. Your fill probes. Wow, this thing is cool. Wow, that is cool. Okay. Oh, and then we got Velcro on that side. Oh, nice. Wow. Guys, I would hang on to this piece if I were you. Oh, wow. This thing is nice. You got carbon fiber finish right there. And this is looking good. So the reason you want to get one of these, and it costs a little more than other, like, okay, let's just say if you get a $300 compressor that's basically portable like this one, it's gonna break. My orange one that I had, it's around a $300 compressor, and I broke it after like 3 months. And this, though, you buy a brand name like this, you're gonna pay a little more, maybe twice as much, but it's not gonna break. This thing will last you for 5 years or whatever if you take care of it, probably longer than that. All right, I'm gonna get it up on the table, get a closer look. Actually, let's just look at the top right now. There's your pressure gauge. You're just gonna basically, so you're gonna turn this needle, yeah. So the back side of this needle, you can't see it, but there's a little piece right there. This side of the needle is where you want it to stop. So let's just say we're going to stop at 250 bar right there. And now this is the pressure needle, and that will go up and it will stop and you get to 250 bar. There's the front of the compressor. Right here is where you attach your air hose, and it's also your pressure release valve, and also it looks like your burst disc is right there. You guys probably can't tell, but this is a giant knob. This is the size of a nickel right here. One tip though is that always, you never start a compressor when there's pressure in there. So let's say that for some reason the compressor turned off halfway in between filling your gun, and there's still pressure in between your gun and the hose, you know, between your gun and the compressor. Don't turn the thing back on. It's too much load. It has to be bled out, and then you can turn it on. So make sure there's basically no pressure when you turn it on and off, and that's the way to treat these. Okay, so this is definitely not too heavy at all. Okay, it's not like, oh my gosh. It's got a nice sturdy handle right here. This right here is like really nice, I don't know, it's like a finished aluminum, and it's real snazzy. It's very, very high quality. The fit and finish on this is just like definitely superb. Everything. Yeah, I like it. There's the front. You're going to have ventilation and looks like some stats on the side. There's some of the stats right there, and of course you definitely want to read your instruction manual when you buy something like this. You don't want to wreck it. Another thing is, this sucks a ton of air, you guys. I learned this with my $300 orange compressor that I blew up. Okay, it sucks a bunch of air, so I had this actually next to a wall for a while on my orange one, and that contributed to it blowing up. So you need to have this not next to a wall, because sometimes your compressor fits right in the corner right there so nicely, but you want to have this. You'll see this thing just sucks a giant volume of air. And then, whoa. I was gonna say you want to not put your stuff on the carpet. You don't want, these are like giant rubber legs. Yeah, you guys, those rubber feet right there are at least 3/4 inches long, so it's gonna keep it nice and high off the thing. This right here is like a big plexiglass thing. You see that right there? It's like plexiglass right there, and then this, I think this actually lights up. You got another bleed valve under here. That's curious, and some sort of on-off switch. So we'll figure that out too. And even though I don't see any ventilation on the bottom, I would say don't set your compressor on carpet. Okay, you want to have ventilation going underneath it as well. Just to be safe. I mean, this is an investment that you're making in your sport. So this is coming from a guy who's literally spent, I don't know, $5,000 on compressors, okay? And I've almost quit PCP many times because of the compressors keep blowing up, but anyway, it's usually my fault. Right here you got your power supply on the other side. Again, you guys can see how nicely this thing is finished. It's got the carbon fiber finish. There's a ton of ventilation on this side. Once again, you got to keep that good. Right there is where you're going to plug in your 12-volt adapter cord for if you're running it off your car battery. Once again, make sure you have your car running. And yeah, that's it, you guys. That's a close-up look right there. I'm going to plug it in. We're going to pump a gun up. And I'm going to look through the manual and see if there's anything you guys need to know. All in all, you guys, though, these portable compressors are always the best way to go, especially if you're new to PCP. Because I'm telling you, having a scuba tank and having a fill station and having, having to deal with a Yang hang compressor, you can't run those things for more than 30 minutes. And these are definitely the way to go because you can pump your gun up, like I said in the beginning, all the way to 300 bar every single time. It's easy, it's clean. But yeah, if you're new to PCP or you think you're getting into it, you definitely want to get a portable compressor for your first one. So right under there, it looks like we got a moisture release valve. Oh, okay, cool. So you do that every 20 fills. It's going to have like a moisture tank under there. So with your air hose, it's just your normal quick disconnect. You just put it on there like that. That's the business end, goes to your gun. Got my 110 volt wall plug right here. Plug that baby in. And that's it, you guys. You're ready to go. Whoa. Hold on. Okay, that's cool. So first I took my brand new AEA HP Max and put it in here. But there actually ended up being a problem with one of the O-rings on the gun. So because I didn't have a complete seal, it wouldn't pressurize. By the way, I did fix that gun, just popped a new O-ring in it, good as new. So that digital gauge is a measurement of the load on the engine. So when there's no pressure, it's about 14, 15. When it's pumping your gun up, it's around 25. And then when it reaches a certain number, that's when you know it's time to put more silicone oil in your compressor. As you can see here, it wasn't building pressure with the AEA. Again, because of the AEA's O-ring. So then I went ahead and grabbed my FX impact because I know that's good to go. And I was really surprised. This thing is definitely more powerful than other portable compressors that I've tried. And yeah, put my gun up quick style. That auto shutoff comes in real handy. If you guys didn't catch it already, here's the basic process for starting this compressor. First you plug it in and you'll faintly hear a little capacitor running inside there. Step 2, you're going to turn your power button on and you'll hear your fan ramp up and start running at full speed. Whoa. I went ahead and set my pressure gauge right there to 250 bar, I believe. So just watch how fast it's going to build pressure and then shut off. Before you actually turn the compressor on, you want to open your bleed valve so that you're turning the compressor on with no pressure. Then you hit the compressor on button. You'll hear it start pumping. At that point, you're going to close your valve. Now at the end, of course, before you unplug your gun, you're going to want to do that bleed screw, and that lets all the pressure out of your compressor, and then you're free to pull your hose out of the gun. Pumped my M3 up to 255 bar just like I told it to. So very cool. Definitely works, and it works fast. That was like, topped my air gun up from 220 to 260 bar in probably 3 minutes. Definitely don't walk away. Well, it's got auto shut off so you can, so I love it. So it says when you're turning this on, you press the power button on, and then once the fans are running, you press the on and off button. This right here is the load gauge. So it tells you your electrical load, I guess. So the Nomad compressor comes preset to plug into a 110 volt outlet, okay? But you can run it off 220 volt. It says right in your manual you just have to take the cover off and switch it on the inside. So your manual will tell you how to do that. Okay, so this snazzy LED on the bottom, that switch is for if you want to make your LEDs not run while your compressor's running. So if you don't like the effect, you turn that off. It's not a master switch. And this right here is a, I guess I would call this the master bleed valve. So every 20 fills, you're going to drain that. It's basically a moisture catcher place. Those little black discs right there are foot extension discs. So if you want to make your little feet even taller, then the instructions will tell you how to add those. Okay, lubricating the Nomad 2 compressor. So you locate the lubrication hole, which we did right there. It's right next to the cooling fan. And every 5 fills, you need to add 2 to 3 drops of silicone oil with the bottle that we had that I showed you, or every 1.5 hours of use. You can also use the load gauge, which is that one right there. It says right here, the load gauge on the top of the Nomad 2 can also be used to determine oil application intervals. If the load gauge reaches 28 during operation, it is necessary to apply silicone. The Nomad 2 will automatically shut off if the load exceeds 29. Very cool. So now we know what that load means. So the load is how hard is your compressor working. When it gets to 28, then your compressor's working too hard, and it's time to drop some lubrication oil in there. And then right here it just says every 20 fills, it's important to purge the lubrication system, which is the bottom. It's recommended that you replace the air filter every 2 to 3 hours of use, And it says, should you require extra air filters, that can be purchased through Air Venturi. So yes, I definitely recommend extra air filters if you have a high-end gun that you really care about. Maintenance should be performed at the following times. If oil has been added recently and the load gauge still reads 28 or higher. If fill times increase without any signs of leaking, or once every 20 to 30 fills. And all you need to do is turn on the Nomad 2 compressor and open the moisture release valve on the underside of the unit. Okay? Add 2 to 3 drops of silicone oil repeatedly in 30-second intervals, 6 times. That's a total of 12 to 18 drops over 2.5 to 3 minutes. Once complete, allow the compressor to run for another 3 to 5 minutes with the moisture release valve open to allow lubrication to circulate in the system. When finished, turn the compressor off and close the moisture release valve by turning the knurled screw until tight. So that's pretty freaking easy, you guys. That's your basic maintenance right there. That's all you got to do. So it's got a guide to troubleshooting different things. Just says how to replace your burst disc. It's got a 1-year limited warranty. Covers replacement parts and labor. You do have to pay the transportation costs. So what's not covered is if you damage it yourself, damages caused by abuse or failure to perform normal maintenance, any other expenses, parts subject to normal wear and tear, consequential damages, or incidental expenses, including damage to property. Your warranty will be invalid if the compressor has been incorrectly disassembled, reassembled, or maintained, has been filled with non-Air Venturi parts, has been abused, misused, or improperly stored, or the original purchase receipt cannot be presented. And then we got a little place for notes on maintenance, so very good. That's the entire manual. So like I said, you guys, a 12-volt portable compressor is a lot of times the best choice for your PCP hobby. And this is a great quality one, so I've got this one on loan to me for 6 months. We'll see how it works. I'm expecting it to work awesome, and I can buy it at a discount at the end of that 6 months, so if I really like it, I'll probably keep it. Alright, you guys, that's it for me on this one. I appreciate you tuning in. Happy shooting. We'll see you on the next one.